The Gaia Observatory has liberated a other bandage of information as it assembles the largest accurate map of the heaven. The Europe Area Agent Scope has now developed the stance and luminance of almost 1.7 trillion stars. It as well has data on the range, movement, and color of 1.3 trillion of these objects. Gaia's volume of the sky will not be full before the 2020s, but while it is, the map will sustain astronomy for many decades to go. It will be the link box utilized to schedule all observational data by some telescopes. It will as well be essential to the transactions of all space vehicle that swim by monitoring stars. But for how, Gaia promises a lot of new show on the properties and pattern of our Dairy galactic, its story and evolutionary in the next. It will allow scientists to discover new asteroids and planets, and to testing natural constants and theories. Gaia will, though, improve the techniques utilized to action distances through the broad world, and bring the uncertainties we now include on the age of the universe. Gaia was started up in December 2013 to an orbital several 1.5 millionth kilometers of land. Its two identical telescopes cast their seized lighting onto a enormous, a billion-pixel chamber sensor associated to a troika of tool. At first tranche of measurements was liberated in 2016. The concluded the stance and luminance of fair 1.1 trillion stars, and data on the range and movement of the 2 millionth brilliant objects. The other information produce adds 600 times more than stars in distances, cover a amount 1000 times greater, and all in precisions how are 100 times superior. The is a distinctive time, told Guideline UK Gaia scholar Professor Gary Gilmore. The is the at first period how humanity has had a considerable 3D map of a considerable amount of the Dairy path. It very is a breakout time, he said a meet at the King Astronomic Community in London. Gaia measures whatever how moves, that is in fact all how is out down there. It sees stars appropriate movement, that is their general path through the sky as they orbital the galactic. The scope as well sees their parallax, their obvious winding behavior, that is a feature of land, and Gaia change their advantage spot as they round the sun, it is the parallaxes how give the distances. And which Gaia as well sees is the star's motion on its link of view, their as called centrifugal speed, their real movement on the heaven. Gaia delivers the information for the at first period in the new produce. We now include 7 millionth link of sight velocities of stars, that is more than rather than all some measurements always made. The is a enormous specimen compared in the few 100,000 how we had up, told Professor Mark Cropper, of the Mullard Area Scientific Lab, College School London. It is the centrifugal velocities how enable researchers to do movies of the Dairy path, to run its lifetime forward and ago in period, to define, in the aid of some Gaia data, wherever stars were unborn and wherever they will potential end their days. It should be probable, for sample, to discover our sunshine siblings, the stars how were created in the identical gas and powder puff billions of year ago, but later went their various ways. Down there will be else two big information releases in the upcoming year. The more than Gaia planned, the more than accurate its measurements, and the more than objects it will discover. Down there is in waiting, for copy, how tens of thousands of planets will ultimately be found in Gaia's information. The scope of the Enterprise tool down there is to lot data for vocational astronomers to scrutinize, and amateurs and schools are creature requested to get implicated. An alarm framework operates how throws up exciting objects how cleanse or dim out of the common. Several of these will be explosive stars, supernovae. Lot UK schools are now betrothed in classification these objects. Meg Welcome, a physical science tutor of Eastbury Society High School in the London city of Bark and Dagenham, told Gaia was a fabulous education instrument, these length-term embedded in rich projects, quite rather than high school trips and off activities, are the things how do a true effect on our high school children scientists, help them to evolve their creation, their interrogative skills, the type of things they requirement to be the scientists of the next.